What's good, Wizards fans? Just wanted to do a quick draft recap. A lot of people have been asking about it, so make sure you guys subscribe to Locked On Wizards as well. The link is down below. I am the co-host on Locked On Wizards. We did a draft recap as well, but I'm going to do a recap by myself just to interact with you guys on YouTube as well. So we'll start with the Russell Westbrook trade to the Lakers because that was a part of draft night as well. So we got back Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP. And is that it? Kuzma, Harrell, KCP, and then I feel like there was somebody else, but I think that's it. I don't know why I'm blanking, but I think that is it. So yeah, Kuzma, KCP, Montrezl Harrell. We got those three guys back and a first round pick. That's what else we got. We got the 22nd pick of the draft. So we got 4 pieces that we can use or either just swap in a trade for somebody else. Now, Russell Westbrook requested the trade, guys. So we were not able to just keep him. It was up to him. So it's not like it was Tommy's decision to trade Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook came to him and said he wanted to go back home and play in Los Angeles and team up with LeBron and Anthony Davis. We'll see how that fit goes. Russell Westbrook is not a three-point shooter. As we saw in the bubble last year, the Lakers barely guarded him at the three-point line. They stayed all the way back in the paint rather than going up to step up and guard Russell Westbrook. So it's going to be an interesting fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. But I just want to say thank you to Russ for, what he did here. He did help us get to the first round. We definitely wouldn't have got to the playoffs without him. He played well when he was finally healthy. He played at an MVP level in the second half of the year after the All-Star break when he cut his hair and we went 17-6 and he broke the triple-double record and all that good stuff. So he played well while he was here. I mean, he played hard every night. That's one thing you cannot say about Russ. And he's not the best shooter. Sometimes he makes bad decisions and turns the ball over. But he gives 110% every night. So I was hoping that he could stay, but it is what it is. And he requested a trade and wanted to team up with LeBron and Anthony Davis. So good luck to him over there or whatever. But, so he requested the trade. So we had no choice on that. Getting back KCP, Montrezl Harrell, who I really, really like. Montrezl Harrell was the 6th man of the year in 2020, averaged 18 points a game. In 2020, averaged 13 points. He's a bucket getter off the bench. He's a tough guy. He brings some grit, some tenacity, and some toughness that the Washington Wizards haven't had in the paint. He goes hard in the paint. He is a tough, grinded out, legitimate scoring threat. Like, he'll face you up and dribble the ball a little bit, put it between his leg, and then go to the cup real hard and finish. So I actually like him the most out of the 3 guys that we picked up. KCP is a good defender. He's a good 3-and-D guy, 41% shooting from the 3. And Kuzma, I slept on it. At first, I didn't like it, bringing him here because, he was really bad in the playoffs and he was bad the last 2 years with Anthony Davis and LeBron. He was really good his first 2 years, but he definitely regressed. He dyed his hair yellow and became Hollywood, started dating Hollywood stars and whatnot, and just kind of, looked like he wasn't really focused on basketball. But I think he could revive his career in Washington. I think he would play a lot better. He would be more focused. And playing beside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, that's hard. That's not easy to do. Every time LeBron plays with somebody, when he has a big 3 or 2 guys and another guy, there's always one guy that everybody blames for playing badly. But Kuzma, he did make some very bad plays with the Lakers. He made some silly passes, behind the back passes, and just missed layups and missed easy shots at that. So he's not innocent. But I think if he wanted to revive his career, Washington probably would be the place to do it. But from what I'm hearing, from Quentin Mayo, he said that we were going to try to trade Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell for Spencer Dinwiddie, but then there was a report from Fred Katz saying that Dinwiddie, that trade is not enough to bring Dinwiddie from Brooklyn. Brooklyn rejected that trade offer from Washington. So we'll see what happens if we keep Kuzma. Kuzma put something on Instagram with Bradley Beal saying Capital Boys or something like that. And then Montrezl Harrell posted something saying he's ready for DC, ready for his family to be here. And his family's going to be here deep at the game. So we'll see about that. But out of the 3, I like Harrell the most. When the trade first happened, I really thought that Bradley Beal was going to get traded. I thought the team was going to be blown up. In my opinion, I wouldn't have been mad if that would have happened. If we would have just blew it up, if we would have traded with the Warriors for pick 7 and pick 14 and James Wiseman, Andrew Wiggins, and Jordan Poole, I would not have been mad at that. But now since Tommy wants to make moves and build around Bradley Beal, I'm 100% fine with that too. But we have to understand that the ceiling of this team with Bradley Beal being the best player on the team is not a championship team, in my opinion. It's a playoff team, but it's not a championship team. It doesn't really make us 100%. It doesn't make us way better than what we were last year. We're more well-rounded. I think we'll probably have more of a balanced attack than just having 2 guys and then a bunch of guys who can only do one thing, like a Davis Bertans being our 3rd best player, or Rui Hachimura. And Rui's going to get better. But I think this year, We'll have a better balanced team instead of just Russ and Brad doing everything. We'll pass the ball more, move the ball more, different things like that. So let's get to the draft picks finally here. We'll end on that. So Corey Kispert at 15. I like that pick a lot. He was not supposed to be the 15th pick. A lot of mock drafts have had him going top 10 or top 12, top 13, going before 15. I wanted Chris Duarte, but he got picked at 13 by the Indiana Pacers. But this was a huge win for the Washington Wizards. We need shooting. We need guys that can space the floor. We need guys that can do both. They can put the ball on the floor a little bit and move around and play defense. And Corey Kispert is more athletic than what people give him credit for. I remember when he dunked on somebody at UCLA in the Final Four. That was a nice dunk, and that's not by just a stationary shooter. That's a guy that can do other things and get up and be athletic. And he's 6'7". He's pretty tall. People compare him to Doug McDermott, Kyle Korver, Joe Ingles, guys like that, guys that are just shooters. He's not a stationary shooter, and that's what separates him from Davis Bertans. I like the comparison of Wally Zerbiak, OSS 980. That's my guy. He had me on his podcast like a couple of years ago. He called him Billy Hoyle, and he does remind me of, because Billy Hoyle can jump from White Men Can't Jump. He can actually get up and dunk the ball, and Corey Kispert can do that. He's athletic, and he's good in transition too. He's a 44% three-point shooter, shot 80%, over 80% from the free throw line, shot 50% from the field. He can move, was great in catch and shoot situation opportunities. So I love Corey Kispert. I love that pickup a lot. And he can attack closeouts too. He can get to the bucket and finish. So I think he's going to be really, really good for the Washington Wizards at pick 15. So I love that pick out of Gonzaga. You know, he was the WCC Player of the Year. He was an All-American. He was an academic All-American. He's a smart guy. Him and Rui Hachimura teaming up again. I know they're happy to play with each other again. And then he played on the same team with Jalen Suggs and Joel Ayayi and Drew Timme. Those are some good players, and he was the leading scorer on that team. So it just shows you how good Corey Kispert is, and I think he's a character guy that Tommy Shepard's going to love in DC. He's going to play really well aside Bradley Beal. Now, next we traded the 22nd pick from the Lakers to the Indiana Pacers for pick 31 and Aaron Holiday. So we moved back and essentially got two players. I do like Isaiah Todd, and just looking at the guys that we could have got at that spot, because if you look at picks 22, the Lakers drafted Isaiah Jackson, and then we could have gotten, Quentin Grimes from the Clippers, another shooter, another 3-and-D guy. But we really needed a point guard. We did end up getting a backup point guard in Aaron Holiday, who averaged 7 points a game last year and then 9 points a game the year before. He was a defensive plus and plus and minus, and that's why Tommy Shepard liked getting Aaron Holiday. He compared, he said the same thing with Raul Neto, that Raul Neto had a plus in defensive plus minus. He was a plus or a positive in that category, and Aaron Holiday was the same. So that's probably why Tommy Shepard likes Aaron Holiday, bringing him as a backup point guard. We still need a legitimate starting point guard. We do not have one. We have not had a hole at that position for a long time. We had John Wall and then Russell Westbrook. So this is the first time the Washington Wizards have had a huge need at the point guard position. We've always had a point guard, even Gilbert Arenas, we've always had a point guard for like the last 15 to 20 years. We've always had somebody who we know is going to come in and step up and play point guard at a very high level. So this is the first time we don't have a legitimate point guard. I thought we could have went with Sean Highland at a VCU from Bones Highland from VCU. A lot of people like Sharif Cooper, but I like Isaiah Todd. He's a good big man, 6'10", out of Baltimore, Maryland, played with the G League Ignite, played with Jalen Green, played with Jonathan Kuminga, some other guys on that team that are going to be NBA players this year. Jarrett Jack was on that team too. Amir Johnson from the Raptors was on that team too. So it was a lot of NBA players on that team. He played really well. He averaged 12 points a game and 5 boards. Shot 36% from the three-point line, was a very good free throw shooter, was a good finisher around the rim, blocked shots, high energy, high motor, just a hybrid big, can get off the rim. Can get off the bounce real quick. Once he gets the rebounds, he can go right back up and just dunk it because he's 6'10", 7-foot long wingspan. So I gave Kispert I like the Kispert pick a lot, and I like the Isaiah Todd pick at 31. I think it's a solid pick. I think he'll help, but I do think he's going to spend some time with the Capital City Go-Go. That's where I see him playing with the Go-Go. I don't think he's going to start. I want to see him in Summer League. I'm excited to see him play. But I don't think that he'll get a lot of playing time his rookie year. I think he needs to get stronger. He's like 215 pounds, 210 pounds, something like that. So he's very skinny and very lean. So he definitely has to get stronger and get in the weight room. But he has the physical tools. He has the athletic tools. He can shoot, turn around jumpers, fadeaways, all that. And he's a mid-range assassin. So I like that pick a lot too at 31. But, you know, looking at the guys that got picked behind him, I'm not going to nitpick too much. Maybe Ayo Dosunmu out of Illinois. Those are some guys that we probably, Jared Butler from Baylor. You know, we possibly could have got him, but I like the pick with Aaron Holiday. Only thing Pacers fans are saying, Aaron Holiday is very inconsistent, so we'll see what happens. But I highly doubt Waul Neto and what's his name, Ish Smith will be back next year. So we'll see what happens, man. But Bradley, I thought it was a good night for Tommy Shepard. I thought it was a solid night for the Wizards. And like I said, we could not keep Russell Westbrook because he requested a trade. Did we get better? It's to be determined. There's a lot of moves that need to be made. Next week, Monday starts free agency, August 5th at 6 p.m. is the first day of free agency. So we got to get some moves. We got to get a point guard. Lonzo Ball is a restricted free agent. Spencer Dinwiddie is an unrestricted free agent. He said he wants to team up with Bradley Beal and Rui Hachimura to make a legitimate big three. I don't know if you would call that a legit big three, but I think it would be a solid three that would make the playoffs, like an 8th or 7th seed, in my opinion. Who else is out there? Mike Conley, we're not going to get him. Chris Paul, we're not going to get him. DeJounte Murray has been made available, I heard, from the Spurs with Greg Popovich. So we'll see what happens with that as well. So there are some point guard options, but they're not all-star point guards. They're like solid point guards that average, 15 to 20 points a game, but they're not all-stars like a Russell Westbrook or like how John Wall was. They're just not that kind of guys. But they're solid guys to put around Bradley Beal. And then Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma, KCP. We'll see if we keep those guys or if we end up trading them and swapping them for a legitimate point guard. So we'll see what happens, man. You guys let me know what you guys think about the draft and what we should do in free agency. I'll probably make a quick free agency video about point guards that are available, just breaking them down, talking about that. But, those are the things. If I had to give a grade, I give the draft about A-, B+. I think it was a solid draft. I give Kispert an A, and I give Isaiah Todd about a B+, because he's going to need some time to develop. You're not going to get a pick at 31 that's going to come in and immediately help, but at the same time, I thought we needed a point guard. All right, you guys, hell to the Wizards. Peace.